everyone, this is Adit. Today I am going to talk about histopathological findings. The first finding which I am going to discuss here, that is parakeratosis. The parakeratosis is the retention of nucleus. It is the retention of nucleus in stratum corneum. Normally, in stratum corneum, there is the absence of nucleus, but in parakeratosis, there is the retention of nucleus in stratum corneum, which is the abnormal. This parakeratosis can be seen in various conditions like psoriasis, eczema, actinic keratosis, seborrheic dermatitis, squamous cell carcinoma. And you can remember these conditions by a mnemonic PEAS. P-E-A-S-S. Now let's see differences between actinic keratosis and seborrheic dermatitis. Actinic keratosis is a pre-malignant condition and seborrheic dermatitis is a benign condition. Actinic keratosis is seen in sun-exposed areas. Remember one thing, whenever you will hear a word actinic, it means it is seen in sun-exposed areas. So we can say actinic keratosis is that keratosis which is seen in sun-exposed areas. And the lesions which are seen in actinic keratosis are scaly lesions, which are also known as keratotic lesions. In seborrheic dermatitis, the lesions give stuck on appearance, and the seborrheic dermatitis is associated with a sign which is known as lesser trielet sign. And this lesser trielet sign is further associated with gastric adenoma. For the treatment of actinic keratosis, topical creams are given like 5-fluorouracil and imiquimod. And the mechanism of action of these creams is they are the agonists of toll-like receptor 7 and 8. And another treatment is photodynamic therapy. Now let's see the explanation of photodynamic therapy. In photodynamic therapy, a chemical is used which is known as aminolevolunic acid. And this aminolevolunic acid is applied over lesions of skin. Then these lesions are exposed to laser light. Due to the exposure of laser light, the aminolevolunic acid gets converted into protoporphyrin 9. Remember one thing, that this protoporphyrin 9 is responsible for the red color of lesions, and the accumulated protoporphyrin 9 is cytotoxic for pre-malignant cells. As we know, in the actinic keratosis, there is the presence of pre-malignant cells. That's why for the treatment of actinic keratosis, we give the photodynamic therapy, because this protoporphyrin is cytotoxic for pre-malignant cells. Let's see this question. This question was asked in AIM 2016, that what is the color change seen in lesion after photodynamic therapy. Just we have discussed that protoporphyrin 9 is responsible for the red color, not for black, not for white. And the right answer was red color. This photodynamic therapy is also known as photochemotherapy, because in this therapy, light, that is laser light, and chemo means the chemical aminolevolunic acid is used. That's why it is also known as photochemotherapy. Now let's move on to another histopathological finding, that is dyskeratosis. Dyskeratosis is a premature or abnormal keratinization. And this dyskeratosis is seen in malignant conditions, pre-malignant conditions, and benign conditions. The example for malignant conditions is squamous cell carcinoma And for pre-malignant conditions, Bowen's disease, Paget's disease. And for benign conditions, Hailey-Hailey disease and Darier's disease. Remember this thing that Darier's disease is the most important example for dyskeratosis. Now let's talk about some important facts about Darier's disease. As you can see here, this is the transverse section of an epidermis, and the epidermis can be divided into upper epidermis and lower epidermis. As we know, in the Darier's disease, there is the abnormal keratinization. That's why corpus grans are seen in upper epidermis and corpus rons are seen in lower epidermis. What are corpus grans and what are corpus rons? Corpus grans are transversely elongated keratinocytes. These are corpus grans. These are transversely elongated keratinocytes. And the corpus rons are vertically elongated keratinocytes, which are seen in lower epidermis. Right, now let's continue with other histopathological findings, that is spongiosis and ballooning. Spongiosis is the extracellular accumulation of fluid in stratum spinosum. I am repeating again. Spongiosis is the extracellular accumulation of fluid in stratum spinosum, and it is seen in acute eczema. What is eczema? Eczema means oozing out or boiling out of fluid. In spongiosis, there is oozing out of fluid from stratum spinosum because when the patient have itching, they secrete these lesions. When they secrete these lesions, then there is breach in topmost layer, and the extra fluid which is present in stratum spinosum, it leaks out. Now let's see ballooning. Ballooning is the intracellular accumulation of fluid in stratum spinosum. These are the keratinocytes where the fluid has accumulated. Whenever the fluid is accumulated inside the keratinocytes, these keratinocytes take the shape of a balloon. Ballooning is also seen in acute eczema. Thanks.